Hello there, I'm Cameron Emmanuel Burns, reporting for FinTech Futures here at FinovateEurope, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Edwin van Bommel, the Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer at ABN Amro. How are you? How are you enjoying your day here so far?
I'm doing well. I really have a great time here as well. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Well, I've just come from the panel that you were speaking on. It was really informative, really interesting.
Thank you.
And it was about digital transformation.
Yes.
So for those who weren't as lucky enough as me to attend, what are your key takeaways from it?
I think there were a few. The first one was that you really, if you want to do digital transformation, you have to think about scale at the start, have a platform to scale, have an approach with which you can scale. So I think definitely that was number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, we talked also a lot about some of the prerequisites, for instance, security, and that you really have to keep in mind security. And also when you talk about AI, privacy, etc. Yeah. And then one way or another, I don't know why, but each time when we were in the conversation, Gen AI was a returning topic. Lot, So which was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So that was probably the third takeaway, was that it's top of mind of everyone currently.
Sure. And so what are the key areas incumbent banks should be targeting with their transformation projects to compete with digitally native challenges, do you think?
Oh, that's a hard question, but I think if I want to keep the answer simple, is really make sure that you do everything which makes sense for the client and which making the lives of our clients better, no matter if it's a retail client or an SME or more a corporate. I think that this is all where it starts, and I think the challenger banks have done that very, very well from the start. I think we actually made a huge transition, and also the larger banks, and especially also ABN Amro is doing that now really much better. But to keep that focus on the end customer, I think is key.
So kind of specifically jumping on from what you were just saying there, how has ABN Amro approached its own digital journey in terms of your transformation projects?
Obviously, we are a very broad bank, right? A universal bank. So we have corporate, we have wealth, we have retail. What we have done is a couple of years ago, we actually have changed the organization to be much more client-led. Mm-hmm. And that means that some of the capabilities to become client-led also have been much more centralized. So all the digital front ends are now under one leadership to actually help us to go forward much faster. So I think one thing was the setup of the organization being more oriented at the client. Mm-hmm. I think the second thing was just to keep pushing innovations in parallel of doing cleanup. So we obviously, like any other bank, have a lot of regulatory projects, but we always also kept focusing on launching new elements, new products, new services, just smaller improvements for our clients as well, and to do that really in parallel.
Sure. And how difficult has it been for you to keep up with this extent of change and transformational change that is shifting customer expectations? How difficult has that been?
Honestly, I think we have learned a lot, and I must say that where we currently are, I'm quite happy with that. I think what was the hard thing for us to really learn is to go from an experiment and a small thing to more a change at scale. Mm-hmm. And I think, how do you scale without taking risks you don't want to take, because in the end banking is all about trust, and how do you keep the customer in mind throughout the transition? Yeah. And I think that's something we very much learned, and obviously collaboration also with FinTech, I mean we're at a FinTech conference, also has helped us tremendously there.
And talking about that connection with FinTech, how important is it to you for forging partnerships with FinTechs in terms of being able to adapt quickly to emerging tech trends?
Oh, it is for us very important, and last year we actually changed our setup, right? So we always have worked with FinTechs, mm-hmm. And we were also investing in FinTechs through our ABN Amro Ventures fund. But end of last year, we actually changed our approach there by having a strategic partnership with Motive. Mm-hmm. And so we still own ABN Amro Ventures, but actually Motive is now managing the fund, and all our new investments are going through the Motive vehicles. And we're a significant investor in Motive. And what it helps us is to, even at a broader scale, actually work with FinTechs, not only the ones we invest in ourselves, but the whole ecosystem linked to Motive. Mm-hmm. And also part of the strategic partnership is that we now have the way also that we can collaborate with Motive Create, which is very much specialized in bridging FinTechs with large institutions like us, and to come up with new ideas and creative solutions all together. So we have adapted our approach to make sure that we stay committed to the ecosystem, but that we even can work better with the ecosystem.
Brilliant, thank you. And As we were just saying about before, the big topic, or the one that kept coming back during your panel, generative AI was the hot topic, not only in your panel, but also of last year. Is that something that you've been looking to deploy at ABN AMRO?
Not looking to deploy, we're actually we're deploying. So we have several areas where we deploy, much more related to voice, to document analysis, also to typical things like the co-pilot, so coding, all the support you can have in your Office 365 environment. So there's many areas where we actually are deploying. But what we have done is, because we wanted to make sure we were in control of what the AI is doing, and to make sure that also the privacy of data, everything is guaranteed, we actually took an approach that we have always augmentation cases for now. An augmentation case means that there's always an ABN AMRO colleague between an answer or something else which the AI does and our client, to make sure that it's correct. I think our showcase, and this is also where we actually won a golden award last year, is what we currently are doing in our call center, where we, based on the continuous transcription of the calls, we're actually creating summaries, we're helping to find the relevant knowledge, we look at how can we improve the conversations with the client. So there's many aspects where we actually are doing this to make sure that our clients are being served better, because in the end that's what counts, is that the use cases we do is not so much focusing on efficiency, but actually improving our client service.
Sure, absolutely. And finally, are there any new developments that you can tell us that you're working on at ABN AMRO at the moment?
Then we would extend quite a lot. But I think where we're currently, we talked a lot about AI, but what we're working on a lot as well is embedded finance. And we have different things there in play as well. We integrate with gig work platforms for immediate salary payout. We integrate with ID and Pay, where we do identification as well as payments, as well as providing bank accounts, so really banking as a service. And we're also trying to really lead the way with tokenized securities. I mean, we were one of the first banks actually doing a tokenized bond on the public blockchain. And now we're looking also how we can enhance further in that direction, and there will be new things coming up also this year.
Awesome, thank you. We look forward to seeing them, and thanks so much for taking the time to speak to me
Perfect.
today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time at Finovate.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.